Hey everybody, welcome back to Burford on Baseball. The winter meetings are done and some big names have been signed to some big numbers. Teams certainly had to be suffering from a little bit of sticker shock. The biggest name out there, Aaron Judge, going back to the Bronx. The Yankees had to make this move. I'm not sure they're going to like it over the entire length of the contract, but they could not let him get away. Rumor is there were some other teams out there with as much, maybe more to offer. San Diego apparently was on the board for maybe $400 million, but the Yankees got their guy. Judge goes back to the Bronx, and they're going to have the big name out there, the guy who just set the record for home runs in the American League. They're going to like it, having him for at least a little while. The other New York team, the Mets. They broke out the checkbook. Cohen is going to try and win a championship. They actually lost out on DeGrom, went and got Verlander, 2 years, $86 million. I'm not having a problem with this. 2 years for a guy who's come back, who keeps himself in shape, who was outstanding last year. The Diaz move, he was fantastic last season. 5 years, $100 million for a reliever. It's not very often where these long-term deals work out for relievers. $20 million a year for 60, 70 innings, that's kind of tough. The other one that I was a little surprised about, I don't mind the AAV for Nimmo, but 8 years, it's a long time to keep a guy like that around. I think what they're trying to do is win now. They'll figure everything else out down the line. The one that really surprised me is Bogaerts going to San Diego. They already had Tatis out there. They could put him at shortstop. Sure, maybe they want to move him to center field, take some of the weight off, a couple shoulder problems. Don't want him throwing as much as he would from shortstop. But 11 years for a guy that's basically 31 next season. His slug has fallen each of the last 4 seasons. Bogaerts is a good player, solid but not great defense, really good on base, but this is going late in the career for a shortstop. Not my favorite move out there. The other guy that they gave, I think, too many years to, Texas goes and signs Jacob DeGrom. This is a guy who hasn't thrown 100 innings in 3 years. In the last 2 years, he has not even thrown 160 innings total. When he is on the mound, he is outstanding. The best starter in all of baseball. But he's not getting any younger, and they gave him 5 years, $185 million. That might be a tough pill to swallow toward the end of his career. Going back to San Diego, is the weather not as nice as I've heard out there? What is it? They couldn't get anybody else. They wanted Judge, offered him a whole lot of money, apparently $400 million. They couldn't get him out there. They've made some offers to some other people. Seems like people don't want to go to San Diego. Don't know why. Signing Bogaerts to that extended contract, I'm wondering where they're going with that. Because Machado's got an opt-out after next season, and Soto is coming up on free agency. Are they going to write checks for all these guys? You got to have those bats out there. Win this year, maybe? I don't know. We're going to have to see how big a check that they're willing to write. I'm betting Soto sets records all the way across the board. The last guy that we want to talk about a little bit is the Red Sox signing Yoshida out of Japan. Some people were down on this, but it's a 5-year deal, $90 million. They had to pay an extra $15 to get him over here, which is going to count against them. But this is a need for them. He's a good bat-to-ball guy. He's decent on defense. They needed the outfield. I really don't mind this deal as much as some people are talking against it. It's not that much for a guy that can lead off for them and covers an area of need. Next time, I'm going to talk about some of the not as well-known guys called second-tier free agents and the signings going on, and a couple of the teams that still need to go and grab 1 or 2 more players to really get into contention next year. Thanks for watching Burford on Baseball.